What's up, J Fly? How we doing, baby?
Oh man, I'm out here looking tired, but we getting it done, and we have a great show for the viewers today. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. It is Monday, April 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're on the West Coast, it's 6 o'clock your time. You're here with me and J Fly. Me being Dalton, Jay being J Fly, J100, J150. You know him. But we got a ton for you on the show tonight, as Jay mentioned. Real quick, before we start, I do want to bring everybody's attention to something. We're giving away not one, not two, but how many, Jay?
We give away three.
Three freaking free free jerseys. So all you got to do to win is follow our TikTok, follow our IG, subscribe. The most important one, subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure it's the right YouTube. Follow our Spotify. Give us a listen on there if you can too. And then comment done and tag 3 friends. Here's the key though. Every person you tag, well, every 3 people counts as 1 entry. So if you tag, say, 300 people, you get 100 entries. You got to tag them on our TikTok. That's where the video is going to go viral for free. F. Johnson knows, but definitely enter in that if you guys haven't. It's a chance to win a free jersey.
Big facts. Hey man, jerseys are expensive nowadays. You getting a free one, that's less money than you would pay if you went out and bought it yourself. So go ahead and tag some people.
And that's facts. And it's any player you want. We're buying it for you in any size you want. So certainly capitalize on that. But one team that needs to capitalize, we've been talking about them all year, our 5 worst teams. And this is actually the last one of the series. It was the Jaguars, the Texans, the Jets, the Lions, and now the Giants. Jay, what do the Lions need to do to improve next year? Do they need to trade certain people, draft certain people? What do you think?
Man, it's tough with the Giants because they look so good coming into last season. I know a lot of people had them winning the division, and I know that's your division, Dalt. I know it's tough. Thanks, Randy. Randy gonna comment on my hair right now. I don't know, you're just out here, man. Appreciate you. But the Giants, man, it's tough. Like I said, I thought that I told you, Dalt, and this is when I first knew you, Dalt, you're an Eagles fan. But
Yep.
I thought the Giants and the Eagles were gonna tie record-wise, and it was going to go through a tiebreaker as far as who's going to win the division. And the Giants didn't do nothing like that. The Eagles did great, though. The Eagles held it down. The Cowboys surprised us. But I don't know, man. Daniel Jones, I don't know if he's the answer. I don't know what I could really say, but I can say 2 things. I could say, 1, they need to get better on defense. 2, they might need to get a new quarterback. But I'm actually going to go ahead and say drafts, the best player available in the draft, I think it's going to be offensive line. I think they should go offensive line in the draft. Protect Daniel Jones and hope the wide receivers stay healthy. Hope Saquon stays healthy and hope Daniel Jones plays a little bit better than he has in his career so far. And I think they might have a shot at a wild card spot in the NFC, and maybe I'll win the division, but I doubt it.
They need to trade Barkley, is how I feel. Like, it's been awesome seeing him, and he's definitely a generational player. Just the Giants are a dysfunctional franchise, and they're wasting his talent. He's wasting their time. It's just mutually beneficial for them to part ways. I think the Tyrod Taylor trade's interesting. It really puts some fire under Daniel Jones' ass, and it really makes you wonder, like, what's this kid gonna do? I don't foresee him losing the starting spot to Tyrod Taylor, at least yet, unless the Giants go like 0-8 or something, and it's all Daniel Jones' fault. Because there's a lot more holes on that team that it's not his fault. The Galladay situation hasn't worked out. That's why I put him on the graphic. That's embarrassing. Signing him to all that money, and this guy doesn't even put up a tutty for you. I think what they need to do if I was them is the main thing, offensive line. Draft Charles Cross, build that offense. That offense has not been the same since Odell Beckham left. The whole team really hasn't. Their defense is one of their strong suits, but if they can get that offensive line humming and maybe get a run game going, if Saquon sticks around, they could be good in a year or two. Don't get me wrong. Any team, I think, in the NFL can. It all depends on how will they draft and what will the front office do. And that's where I don't have confidence in the incompetent New York Giants.
Dave Gettleman still there, or is he done?
I think he's done now. I might be wrong. John Mara's still there, though, and I made fun of him in a TikTok, and some people got butthurt. And it's like, bro, he's senile. He's this old dude. He has no clue what's going on. But the Giants just need help on so many levels.
Though I got a question for you, and I kind of brought up a little bit, but do you think the Giants should try to really focus on becoming a defensive team that's just like super strong on defense and hopes their offense just does enough to not lose them games and get them out of games?
That's a really good question, actually. I think that if there's going to be any team that does, it would be the Giants. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would say that no team should do that because that's not a good way to like bangle your football team. But with a QB like Daniel Jones that you have so much invested in that could have been a third round pick, like I think that I think that the Giants could. I hear your point actually. Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
think about this: Seattle Seahawks, 2011, great defense, game managing quarterback, what people called, and Marshawn Lynch. You have Saquon Barkley. If he could become that top 3 running back that people think he can be, you have a great defense. You don't even need. They have Kenny Galladay is already better than. I guess he'd be your Percy Harvin on that team, maybe. And then you have Daniel Jones that to step up and play to Russell Wilson's level at that time when he was young and more of a game manager. I think they can do it. I think the Giants technically can win a Super Bowl, but they probably won't. But they technically can. They can go to the Super Bowl and then get smashed by whatever teams in the NFC. I mean, whatever teams in the AFC, like the Chargers or the Chiefs or whatever team makes it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC. Not the Bengals. I think they beat the Bengals. They win the Super Bowl anyway. That's enough. It's enough of this. But they can't win the Super Bowl, though. It's possible.
Yeah, I think that it's going to take a lot of time for them to rebuild. But I mean, it's these 5 worst teams are just in such a deep, deep hole that it's just really hard for me to see them being good at any time. But then again, the Eagles went 4-11 a couple years ago and then won the Super Bowl with Chip Kelly. I thought that we would never come back from that. So
Well,
I remember when we
too.
hired Doug Peterson, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And now I miss him.
Weren't the Bengals like one of the worst teams like last season? They just made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they were. That's truth. So really, I mean, any team can turn it around at any time. You're exactly right. And speaking of kind of any team needing to turn it around at any time, but flip of the script in the NBA, dude, the Lakers, one of the most embarrassing seasons ever, right? I mean, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the Lakers. But this is the thing, though. This is probably the worst Lakers season I think the Lakers fans have ever had to deal through and suffer with. I mean, when Kobe Bryant retired, there was like that year that was pretty bad. But this is different. This is the difference. I have some diehard Laker fans that they're like season ticket holders and stuff like that. When they had those bad years when Kobe retired, you understand Kobe Bryant retired. The greatest player the Lakers have ever had retired. In this case, you have LeBron James in a jersey playing every day. You have AD, I can't say playing every day because he's in street clothes half the time. And you have a guy who people thought was going to be good in Russell Westbrook, and they didn't make the playoffs. So I think this is by far worse than when you have Robert Sacre and whoever else they brought out on that starting 5. Tariq Black, Robert Sacre, Jordan Clarkson was like their best 3 players on that team when Kobe retired. So that's a big difference when Kobe and Gasol are off the team. This is way more embarrassing. And the reason why it's not a shock to me is because I told people, I had it on TikTok, I had a few rants. When they signed Russell Westbrook, I knew they weren't going to make the playoffs because Russell Westbrook has played with Victor Oladipo. He's played with Paul George. He's played with Carmelo Anthony. He's played with Kevin Durant. He's played with James Harden. He's played with just nonstop superstar, the best players in the NBA that you can possibly think of. And they've never done anything when they're with Russell Westbrook. And then right when they leave or right before, they win a championship. Like KD won a championship the year after he left Russell Westbrook. Victor Oladipo had his best season after he left him. Paul George did great things. So obviously we've seen what happened with these other players. Anyway, Russell Westbrook's the reason they didn't make it. It's not on LeBron. It's not on AD. It's all on Russell Westbrook. It's on LeBron because he's a GM and he kind of forced the issue and got him on the team. But yeah, we should have took DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield, and it would be a championship this year for the Lakers. Instead, LeBron James is out of the playoffs and he tarnished his legacy. He's not even top 10 for me anymore. And for a while, I thought he was a top 7 player in the NBA of all time. This tarnishes his legacy because you don't see Kobe and Jordan doing this. That's all I'm going to say about that. I have a lot to say about it, though, but that's all I'm going to say. LeBron James just missed the playoffs on a stacked super team, quote unquote.
Yeah, LeBron has been asked this year. I mean, I love LeBron too, but it was just so depressing. And the graphic to explain is LeBron was asked the other day if you could play with one player in the NBA who you haven't played with yet, who would it be? And he said, definitely Steph Curry. Sorry, I'm thinking of Seth having deja vu, wishing that trade didn't happen. But anyway, definitely Steph Curry. And I think that the two of them would be obviously a lethal combo, but it makes you wonder, where's Bronny going to go? Because where Bronny goes in probably 2 years is probably where LeBron goes. So whatever team is drafting Bronny, is really drafting LeBron too, because I bet you people say LeBron's selfish and people say LeBron, doesn't want to share the wealth. And that's true. Okay, fine. What about this though, Jay? What do rich people really like to do? Share their wealth to their kids. So LeBron is willing to take a pay cut for Bronny. You know what I mean? So if Bronny's going to be the top dog on the team in 3 or 4 years and LeBron needs to take a pay cut so they can pay him an insane contract after winning a championship, 100%. You better bet LeBron James is going to do that. I know the kind of parent he is. I know the kind of person that he is. Don't sleep on that happening. So whatever team really is drafting Bronny knows that they're getting the package deal. So I saw like the article, one guy put it Bronny next to Steph Curry and LeBron James and said, could this be the new Golden State? I don't think that would happen. I think Golden State's too good. Like, where do you think Bronny James goes in the draft? Like, do you think like he's like a top 5 overall pick? Do you think like
it's tough right now? So at the moment, I don't know where people have him in these like way too early drafts, but I could see Bronny technically as a basketball player. I mean, you could argue that if he wasn't LeBron James' son, he would go undrafted. But right now, realistically, I could see him going in the second round. Now, if it's true that LeBron James says he's going where his son goes, all of a sudden, I think he's a lottery pick. You know, he can go like as high as 15. But at what point, though? Because this is the thing about the draft is that teams drafting the top like 8 picks are really bad, and so bad that like, will LeBron James go there? Sure, he'll get paid and he'll be a star attraction to put seats in the in the arena and sell out crowds and stuff. But if you're rebuilding, do you want old LeBron for a year or two, or do you want to go with a young stud that might be your future
LeCoach?
Star? LeCoach, yeah, exactly. Do you want LeCoach, LeGM? Maybe if if I'm picking 26th and I just made a playoff run or I just won the finals, yeah, I'll take Bronny because I already have a superstar team. If we can fit LeBron James cap space in there, we make it work. That's a great team. So I'm saying end of the first round or even the second round is where I think Bronny would go. But we'll see. Some team might surprise us, draft him like, at like 14 and take Bron, and maybe Steph follows. You never know. But I don't know. LeBron's getting old, though. I think it'd be more just for him to hang out with his son and play some ball. I don't think he's really running for a championship at this point. But we'll see. Got a lot to say about this stuff, though. I'm going off.
Yeah, I think that seeing these two pair up would be cool. It's just really interesting to talk about what trajectory is Bronny going to be on, because I think Bronny's going to be the first ever. Think about it. He's really going to be the first ever NBA player to really grow up in the social media era and have a parent that's the magnitude of LeBron, like the expectations and what he's going to have to go through on social media. I just got to give props to that kid because he's going to go through so much, I think.
What's crazy that I want to bring up is that, one of the best father-son NBA stars would probably be Del Curry, who was a star in the 90s, and then Steph Curry, who's a star in the, mid-2010s and now. But that's such a far time apart, 90s to 2015.
And it's not time like numbers. It's just like in what has happened. I hear you so much.
It's like so crazy. But now we have LeBron James and his son playing on the same court possibly in 2 years, possibly for the same team. It's just going to be ridiculous to watch. Like, it's just imagine Del Curry and Steph Curry playing in the game right now. You'd be like, what is that, older gentleman doing on the NBA basketball court?
You're a nice guy, older gentleman. But it's just like crazy with Bronny and everything. I just think props to Bronny because he gets so much shit. Like, everything he does is going to be judged. I think if there's no better way than having, I guess, LeBron welcome you into the NBA as your dad, but holy shit, it's going to be funny to watch this shit. But anyway, the graphic up here is LeCoach or LeBron. And did they fire Vogel today or extend him? Because I saw both articles, but I heard it's fire, right?
I would assume they're going to fire him. This is a colossal meltdown when you talk about, and I want to talk about this. I don't know if he got fired or not, but I will say this: Russell Westbrook should have been playing, that 15 to 20 minutes, that 12 to 20 minute role off the bench, and I think it would have worked a lot better. But the actual coach Frank Vogel didn't have the guts or whatever to talk to Russell Westbrook and tell him, hey, you're coming off the bench because you don't fit well with our starting five. and that's what really cost him. So I think personally, if I'm a coach, I do that, and since he didn't, I think that's worthy of getting rid of him and find someone who, who kind of has the guts, I guess, to just tell a guy who has a big ego and a big mouth to, hey man, you got to know your role. This is your role now. So I don't know if he got fired, but he probably should be. I mean, I'm not calling for no one's job, though. Me, everyone should be happy and stay employed. But I would definitely, I can see him being fired if he hasn't already.
Jay, like I really don't have much to say about this either. I don't know too much about it. I just think that hopefully Doc Rivers goes there. So I'll say.
Yeah, if we can get Doc Rivers out of Philly, man, it's a championship in Philly probably.
He freaking Paul Reed drops 44 points today, and Doc Rivers goes, "It's not the Paul Reed show. We're focused on championships." Like, just doesn't say anything, and people are like, "Why do you hate Paul Reed?"
Well, I'll tell you this really quick, though. I believe the reason why Ben Simmons has all this mental health issues and anxiety and wanted out of Philly so bad was mainly on Doc Rivers. You could blame Joel Embiid if you want a little bit, but I'm blaming, and you can blame Ben Simmons being a little soft. I get that. I mean, I'm not going to say that. I mean, I kind of did. But I'm not going to say that. I think the coaching, I think you have to put it on the coach for that. So Doc Rivers, man, you had Ben Simmons and Joel. You had a good Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and you made him to bad in Ben Simmons, and now he's gone. Anyway, you got Harden, so it's all good.
So Jay, did you pick a team yet for the USFL?
This is I can't say I did because I have a good friend in Philadelphia. He's a Stars fan, so I kind of want to be a Stars fan. Mike on the mic, you guys know NFL Mike. He's a Breakers fan out of nowhere, so I kind of was going with the Breakers.
So I think that this game should decide it. Whoever wins, you should pick as your team.
Oh, April 7th. That's right. I didn't even see the schedule. They're playing at 1 o'clock. They're playing at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
Okay, this is a game to decide my fandom, my fanship.
I think it is. So give me a prediction for each game, and that's got to be the game to decide your fandom.
Okay, every game. So the Generals, I think, is also a stupid name. Sounds like they're playing against the Harlem Globetrotters and poised to lose. So I'm going with the Stallions. Birmingham is actually a really nice city in Alabama. I actually shout out to Alabama and the whole South. Gamblers versus Panthers. Panthers also a stupid name because there's an NFL with a team with the exact same name and a college team. It's like there's too many Panthers. Like just get rid of it. There's a Black Panther, which is best Marvel series. Gamblers, I'm going with the Gamblers. That sounds like Calvin Ridley would probably maybe jump in and sub in on that team, wide receiver. That'd be great. And then we got Oh, damn. I actually kind of go with the Stars to win this game, dog, only because I told Mike, I don't know if I believe in the quarterback the Breakers have. Mike's all in on him, though, so we'll see. If he actually balls out, then he'll win my support, and I'll go Breakers. But right now, I'll go Stars. And then I'll go with the Bandits, too, because Maulers is actually not that bad of a name, but I'm going to go with the Bandits because why not?
All right.
There's my expert analysis right there, dog, my expert breakdown.
So I like what you said with a lot of that, and I agree with most of it. I am going like you, the Stallions. The Stallions, I was watching a power rankings video. Apparently in this guy, they're like the third or fourth, maybe even second best team in the USFL. So I really like the Stallions in that. Give me then the Panthers because they have Shea Patterson, and Shea Patterson, when he played for the Vikings, I think had potential. Give me, of course, the Stars, even though the Breakers are stacked at wide receiver. And obviously, you got to give me the Bandits. They got Jordan Teamu. Yeah. When he used to play for the St. Louis Battlehawks in the XFL, I was a Battlehawks fan because Philadelphia didn't have a team. But, yeah, I really, really like Teamu, and I think that the Bandits are the best team in the league, hands down. And they're honestly my pick to win it all.
Dang, well, they call him Jordan. I mean, they call him Walmart Patrick Mahomes, right?
I don't know. I mean, I call him Jordan Teamu, but if you want to disrespect him like that,
I heard people call him Walmart Patrick. That's kind of a compliment though, because Walmart's a good store and Patrick Mahomes is a good store. I put that together. No, I agree. Dog, how amazed or what 1 to 10? How excited would you be if Calvin Ridley, since he's not playing next year in the NFL, decided to go to the USFL and play for the Gamblers? How would you feel about that?
Is he allowed to technically do that? Technically?
I mean, he already is a gambler already, so.
I hear you. I mean, that would honestly, like, all jokes aside, Jay, you might be on to something. Like, maybe that's how he, like, stays in shape. He plays for the Stars, comes and plays for the Eagles the following year. Okay.
Now we just took this way too far, dog. We took this way too. Your fantasies have now bled into this. I'm just.
They have, and honestly. That's actually not a bad idea. But anyway, stay tuned with us, guys. We'll be talking about the USFL all year. Hopefully, it gets more and more interesting. I'll be watching Sunday. Let us know in the comments, who do you guys want to see win? Who are your guys' teams? And the game that Jay, maybe we can go live on TikTok or something that will be deciding your fandom. Will be Sunday, April 17th, 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Stars and Breakers.
You know what kind of sucks about that, though?
What?
The NBA playoffs literally start on that same Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of sports. So wait, that's the fall. That's, Sunday, but you're right. The NBA playoffs is that Saturday and Sunday.
And they go all day. They go from like 9 a.m. to like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. like my time, both days, I think. So I'm gonna be going back and forth. Like, all right, let's watch these Breakers and let's watch these Clippers. Maybe we'll see who makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like what happens with the play-in, but it's gonna be hopefully the Sixers don't lose first round. That's all I'll say, because they honestly might. But on to a new topic, because I don't want to talk about that because it might actually happen, like I said. But sophomore stars, I wanted to talk about all these QBs this year. There's one guy that stands out to me, and there's one guy that stands out to you, obviously. I already know who you're about to talk about. You think he's better than Watson. But
they're all better than Watson. Everyone here besides Trey Lance is better than Deshaun Watson. I'm saying that now. But
oh my god. So wait, give me a ranking, Jay, of these order, and let me know first, who is your biggest, who's going to see the biggest amount of growth? And then give me another answer of who's going to be the best next year. Like, out of all these guys, if you had to rank them 1 to 32, who's going to be the best? And then give me who's going to see the biggest jump.
Okay, so I think who's going to be the best is going to be Trevor Lawrence. I think Jacksonville spent a lot of money this offseason to make him shine. They're probably going to invest in the offensive line in the draft as well. So Trevor Lawrence, I think, is going to be the best out of these guys. Biggest growth is going to be depending on how you've seen him the first year. I think Davis Mills can be in that biggest growth category because I think he's going to play really good this season. But then again, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to grow a lot because he didn't have the greatest season last year, but it's because of what he had around him. Davis Mills probably won't have anything good around him again, so you're not going to see that big of a leap. And then you have Zach Wilson, who might also take a leap like that as well. I think Mac Jones is going to be stagnant. Might even take a step back this year. Maybe we'll have to see. As far as ranking, though, I'm going to go ahead and rank him Trevor Lawrence 1, Davis Mills 2, Zach Wilson 3, Mac Jones 4, Justin Fields 5, Deshaun Watson 6, and Trey Lance 7 is how I'd have that ranking for me personally. How you feeling, though, Doc?
Yeah, I really just – it's tough because they're all so close. Like, none of them are really like – when some of these QBs come in the league, you're like, holy shit, that guy's good, like right away. You know what I mean? Like, it takes maybe a year. But the guy that I actually got number 1 is somebody that kind of blew me away this year, and I was hating on him all this year. But I got Mac Jones, bro. Mac Jones is a baller, and he's also a really good guy. Like, I just am a huge Mac Jones fan, and even as an Eagles fan, I'm saying that. So give me Mac Jones 1. Give me Justin Fields. I got a lot of faith in him, and even though he's losing Allen Robinson, he's a freaking stud, man. I mean, he's got a really competitive attitude, and I think that he's got a chip on his shoulder that I really like. And I think that he has a very good winning mentality, and he finds ways to win. And now with the Packers not being so good, the Vikings, I think, maybe take a little bit of a step back. Don't be shocked, especially in the bad NFC, if the Bears, with that really good defense, emerge as a sneaky wild card team. The Bears, I would not sleep on to be a wild card team next year. You heard it here first. But Davis Mills, probably I'm putting last. So I got Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, then obvious reasons why I don't really need to explain. Trey Lance should get more playing time and then would be right there for me. I think that he'll be good this year, but I don't think that he'll be all that. And then I would probably say Zach Wilson. I think that Zach Wilson has been kind of underrated all season.
I respect that.
Zach Wilson has been underrated, but at the same time, Zach Wilson has underperformed. Fair to say?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I think he should take a big step up this year. If not, they'll be disappointed. But I feel like a lot of people didn't expect that much. So it's tough. Like we didn't expect that much from him, but at the same time, he still hasn't reached expectations. It's kind of not a good place to be for him. So we'll hope he plays better next season.
Yeah, I really hope that he does too, because I thought he was one of the better players coming out of this year's draft. And I really, really used to hate on Mac Jones, dude. Like I said, Mac Jones wasn't going to be shit. He's fat. He smokes cigars. Like, not really the reason that he smokes cigars, but he's fat. Like, I thought he was just not going to be a good NFL QB, and he's just such a good decision maker. I really, really am a big, big fan of Mac Jones. Can't believe I'm saying that, but I mean, he's got to be my number one sophomore star next season.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I was actually big on Mac Jones coming. I thought Mac Jones should have been the Niners pick at 3 instead of taking Trey Lance, and I think they regret it now. We just talked about TikTok is live right now. Everyone's going crazy in the comments. And, yes, Trey Lance seems like he's going to be a career backup at this point. We'll see what happens. And they also want to talk about Alvin Kamara. That's another side. I don't know if we're going to talk about
we can talk about that right now real quick if you want. What do you
think we'll talk about that
now.
No, Mac Jones, he's going to be fine. I think he had a great rookie season. I don't know if he's going to be able to have a better sophomore season, but I think he's going to be all right long-term in the league. But, yeah, how do you feel about Alvin Kamara, though?
I got to say this. Like, Kamara, the whole situation with him is questionable. I don't know if he's going to play next year. I don't know if he's going to be good next year. The whole Saints situation is questionable. Losing their head coach, Jameis Winston coming back. I just think that there's so many variables for Alvin Kamara. I don't know that he's going to put up an 1,000-yard season next year like we all want to see him. He's never put up an 1,000-yard season. We all want to see him finally put one up, but I just think that there's so many variables stacked against him. If he goes out next year and does end up putting up a 1,000-yard season, that says a lot about him, because when he's at his peak and he's got a good head on his shoulders, he's, in my opinion, a top 3, top 4 running back in the league. I love Kamara.
And to clarify, there has been no ruling on suspension yet, right? That's still in the air?
Yep, I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, so it's still in the air. I'm interested, and again, I know we bring up Deshaun Watson on this show because we're all pretty big fans of what he does on and off the field. That's called being facetious for those who don't know watch the show. But I think that's going to be interesting, both those guys, because, I could see a situation where neither guy touches the field next season, and I could see a situation where they miss 2 games and play most of the season. I can see a situation for Kamara where he plays the entire season. So it's going to be really depending on what happens with that situation. Because if he plays the whole season, I think he's a top locked-in, top 5 running back easily, and potential to be a top 2 running back, really, if you think about him and Jonathan Taylor or something like that. So, and maybe throwing Derrick Henry if he's healthy. But that's literally what you're looking at with Kamara. If he can play, he's going to be good. If he misses the season or he misses most of the season, it's going to be tough for the Saints to make the playoffs, obviously, even with him. So that's how I'm feeling.
No, I definitely think you hit the nail on the head. It's going to be a lot to see with Kamara. But talking about another running back kind of with something to prove or a chip on his shoulder, I got his jersey on tonight. It's my guy, Miles Sanders. He said point blank this week that he feels like he's been doubted a lot this offseason, and he's got a real chip on his shoulder, and he's ready to come back, and he has a lot to prove this year. I love that in your final year of your rookie contract. Go out with a chip on your shoulder. Be that running back number 1 that the Eagles have been looking for. Not that I don't like the committee. I really like Gainwell. I really like Howard. I just think having Sanders go out and play in an elite level, being a 4 yards per carry running back, doing what he's good at, being elusive, shrugging out of stuff, falling forward for extra yards, all that good stuff that Miles Sanders does, he needs to be able to do next year for 16 games. When he's on the field and when he's getting the ball, consistently good things happen. He may not be the guy that's going to put it in the red zone, but he's going to be the guy that runs it, rips it 40 yards to take it up to put you in the red zone. So no disrespect on Miles Sanders' name. I think that he is the true workhorse when all cylinders are firing on the Eagles offense. I just really, really want to see him stay healthy for 16 games. I think that he definitely deserves it. What do you think, Jay?
Man, I love Miles Sanders. As a player, I think he's really good. I think, this is me personally, I don't know if this could be said correctly or if I could say this because I'm not there, maybe it's what he needs to do on the practice field, or maybe there's something else he needs to do, not in game, because it seems like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because you're an Eagles fan. I know you watch every single second of Eagles football. I feel like he doesn't get the touches. He doesn't get the playing time. Like, he doesn't really get what a lot of these like elite running backs get, that same treatment. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like when I watch Eagles games and then when I look at the stats, I feel like he doesn't get these. I mean, obviously he doesn't get Derrick Henry touches, which no one really gets. Jonathan Taylor touches even. But I feel like he doesn't get enough opportunities, because when he does, I feel like when he touches the ball, he's explosive with the ball. He already does everything you want from a running back. You just said it all. He does everything you want from a running back, except the volume. Really is what I think. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. I mean, he can't change. I mean, in my opinion, what is he going to do to change to get more opportunity? If the coaches don't give him the opportunity, he's going to be exactly where he was at last year, in my opinion. And that's why people doubt him, I think, because he plays great. There's highlights of him. He's running, like you say, he's ripping off like 40-yard runs. He's doing everything you need to do. But what is he getting, dog? 8 touches a game, like 12 touches a game? What is he getting out there?
Yeah, he's getting, like, you're right, like 10, 12 touches at most a game. So, yeah, it is really frustrating from an Eagles point of view, because you think about the NFL 10 years ago, and every team's running back was getting at least 15 touches. You know what I mean? At least. Most running backs were getting around 15 to 25 touches, I would say. So you look at the NFL nowadays, and a running back number one probably gets 15 touches, and that's a lot for a running back one. Maybe 15 to 20 nowadays. Derrick Henry's the only guy, you're right, or Jonathan Taylor, that we're going to see go 20, 25, Derrick Henry 30 plus. So
yeah,
for Miles Sanders, I mean, just give him the ball 15 times a game. Give him running back number one, like, stats. The Eagles are a run-heavy team, so maybe give Miles Sanders the ball 15 times. Game plan to give Gainwell the ball 5 times, and game plan to give Jordan Howard the ball any 3rd-and-1 situation that comes up. You know what I mean? That's what I would do if I was the Eagles, and that's how I would use the committee. I would make Miles Sanders the number one guy, Jordan Howard the 3rd down running back, and Gainwell kind of that receiver option guy for when Sanders is tired. Let Gainwell develop. Because if Sanders goes out this year and balls out, we're going to have to pay him a fat contract, which I don't like. The part about that is that we've had him for 2 years, and now we're going to have to pay him a ton of money. Like, he wants to prove it in Philly, I think, because if he doesn't, he can go somewhere else and ask for a big contract, somewhere like the Jets, somewhere, that needs help with running back that will pay somebody stupid money.
Well, this is something that I thought, he might not be on the team anymore, but I thought Boston Scott, no disrespect to him, but I thought he got way too many carries the past 2 years.
No, he did.
We'll see. Boston Scott,
and he's just kind of the Giants killer. Like, that's like what he's best at, is beating the New York Giants. But other than that, he's just so undersized. There's just so many things that don't really kind of work out with Scott.
He's out-touched Miles Sanders, I think, multiple times in the past 2 seasons, from what I remember.
He has, and that's so frustrating for an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Talking about kind of our boy here, and I know that the Seattle Seahawks will always hold a special place in your heart, even though you're Jay Bolted, but Malik Willis, he's going to probably go to one of these 5 teams. I snuck the Panthers in there a little bit later on. Sorry about the bad Photoshop, guys, but Texans, Lions, Panthers, Saints, Seattle. I think one of these 5 teams is going to take him. I think that if not one of these 5 teams doesn't trade up or take him, they're stupid, in my opinion. What do you think?
Man, see, it's the thing. Obviously we watch these mock drafts, and we have our own opinions that we don't do the mock draft. And I see Malik Willis dropping like in so many mock drafts. I mean, I thought he was going to drop originally. So I really, in my opinion, I don't think anyone should trade up to draft him, because I think he's going to fall to whatever team actually wants to take a chance on him. Like the Panthers want a quarterback. They may take Kenny Pickett. If you're the Seahawks or if you're another team, I don't think you trade up. I don't think you trade up above the Panthers, because the Panthers might not even take the guy you want, because there's like 5 quarterbacks that we have out there right now that we don't really know who's going to be the best one. Kenny Pickett's the most NFL ready. Malik Willis could be the greatest when it's all said and done. Desmond Riddler's another guy who people are really high on. Coral's there. Howell's there. I think you just kind of wait and see who falls to you at this point. That's if I'm an NFL team, I wait and see who falls to me. If I want a quarterback, if I'm Pittsburgh, even if I'm the Commanders, even, and I just take who falls. And if they take all the guys that if they take all 5 quarterbacks before I pick, then there's a stud on defense or a stud on offensive line that I'll just go ahead and pick up. So that's how I see it. That would be my strategy if I was an NFL team.
No, I think that that's a great strategy. Like, there's going to be a couple guys like Desmond Ridder. Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see the Eagles take one of these guys. And I really, really hate to say that, but it's true, bro. Like, don't be shocked if one of these guys fall. Like Matt Corral, I saw that the Eagles apparently invited as one of their top 30 prospects for a visit. And a lot of Eagles fans are like, what the fuck? What are we doing? But if he's there in the 3rd round, why don't you take him? I mean, you don't really know. I love Jalen Hurts. I think that he's it. But you take the insurance policy, you trade away Minshew then, and then you got Corral, who you don't really know what you have with. Like, there are a couple guys like in this draft that are really, really question marks. And that could be a good or bad thing, but question marks just don't get taken in the 1st round. And people forget that a lot of times some good players can come out of the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round just because they're question marks, and teams don't want to take risks in the earlier rounds. Tom Brady, Alvin Kamara was a 3rd round pick. 1st round type of talent, 1st round like skills, but 3rd round pick. So just because the question mark. And now look at him. We're talking about him like, when is he going to be back to being a top 3, top 4 running back? So I really like what you said about Willis too, Jay, about having the most potential. That's why I think that honestly the Lions or the Texans just need to make that pick. And they both have QBs, you're going to say, but I think that for them, like, your franchise is in such a dark place right now. Completely restart with the QB position and go out and take the risk. I mean, maybe you can get one of these defensive guys, but this draft is defensively loaded. And I know the Lions have another pick later, so they can go get a defensive stud. I don't know. I just think that one of those two has to do it. And if they're both stupid enough that they don't, you better bet that the Panthers are going to take them. And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Seahawks or the Saints trade up. More likely the Seahawks, though, I'd say.
I could see it. It's going to be really interesting how that plays out. Honestly, this is kind of crazy to say. We've had a lot of great drafts lately, but this is probably the draft I'm most excited for, and I've been most excited for in a long. I can't remember ever being this excited for an NFL draft, simply because of what you're talking about right now. All these quarterbacks are question marks. They all could go in the 1st round, or they could all drop out of the 1st round. Realistically, in my opinion, if any of them reach the 3rd round, I don't care who you are. I mean, unless if you're maybe the Chiefs and these rare teams, you're taking them. The Packers, even with 2 quarterbacks, I would take Desmond. I would take Malik. If they're the 3rd round, I'm taking them. But yeah, it would be insane. In my opinion, right now, from what I'm seeing don't get me wrong, it could happen, and it might be a good idea. But if you take Malik in the first 2 picks, or first 3 picks, I know the Jaguars aren't going to take him. But if you take him, that's a lot of pressure on this guy, and he might not win the job over Jared Goff or Davis Mills. So it'd be crazy. It'd be interesting to see. I'm not going to say crazy, but it'd be really interesting to see if he goes that high. That'd be a lot of drama and a lot of entertainment for us to see throughout the offseason, throughout the first about 8 weeks of the season, to see who wins that job and who keeps it.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the draft too, Jay. You made a good point. There's so many variables, so many changing factors. It's going to be a hell of an interesting draft. And it's also stacked at wide receiver. And it kind of feels like wide receiver is one of the most stacked positions in the NFL right now. So this is going to be a little bit tough. But Jay, if you want, I can go first because I have mine written down. If you want to figure yours out, I don't know if you have it off the top of the dome, but the top 5 wideouts in the NFL. I mean, I put 10 of them up here that are arguably top 10, but you got to pick 5 and give them in order. You want me to go first, or you want to run it?
I'll let you go first, though. I think I got mine, but I'm gonna let you go first.
All right, bet. So number 1, I think that it's obvious. It's got to be Davante Adams. No further questions needed. I know that, and this is for 2022, ranking them next season. I know that Davante Adams leaves Aaron Rodgers, the 2nd best QB in the league, but he walks into a pretty decent situation being the number 1 option in Oakland with a good QB in Derek Carr. So I still have him number 1. Number 2, I got Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp stays on his team. Matt Stafford sticks around. Their team really doesn't change that much. They do lose Whitworth, which is going to give Stafford less time. But Allen Robinson joins the team, which is just going to open up things for Cooper Kupp more. Yes, it's going to take away catches from him. But when he has the ball in his hands, he's going to be a top 2 wide receiver. Number 3, I got Justin Jefferson. It's time for people to stop disrespecting this guy. The Eagles should have picked him. I would have picked him because I'm an LSU fan. But I got Jay Jettas. Dude, he's so good. He's been a top 2 wide receiver for the past 3 seasons, or for the past 2 seasons. I'm sorry. So, I mean, that just speaks for itself. That speaks volumes, being a top 3 wide receiver in the past 2 seasons. That's consistent. Number 4, I got Diggs. Diggs is probably the most polished route runner in the NFL right now. And I think that just the way that he runs after the catch with the ball in his hands, and the way that he has, like, he's just sneaky good at stuff. You look at him and you don't really know what he's good at, but he has really good hands. He's a really good route runner. And when Josh Allen needs him, he's there. And situationally, he's in a great situation. I think that Justin Jefferson is not in the best situation with Kirk. I just think that Justin Jefferson is that freakishly good of a wideout right now. And then number 5, last but not least for me, I wanted to say D-Hop because people were disrespecting him, but it's not him right now, unfortunately. I got Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is hella underrated, and it's time to move him up. Deebo does everything, bro. He runs the ball at running back. He catches a wide receiver. Time to start putting respect on Deebo's name. That's all I got for you, Jay. Who do you got?
In that case, can I say Christian McCaffrey? He's never healthy. I'm just playing. But no, I'll give you my top 5 really quick. Number 1, I gotta go. Maybe it's bias. People call me bias on LA bias, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going Cooper Kupp number 1. Although Devontae Adams is not a wrong answer. Devontae Adams is probably the right answer, and I'm super close. It's like literally, it's like 50-50. And since you took Devontae, I'm taking Cooper. But yeah, so and Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown winner. He did amazing things. He's with Matt Stafford. You know the deal. Number 2, I already kind of gave that away. Devontae Adams for sure, 100%. If he's not 1 or 2 on your list is just wrong, in my opinion, because he's that guy. He's probably number 1, but I'm going to have him at 2. Number 3, I got to go with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is just that guy. I think Tyreek Hill is going to make Tua into somebody that, people didn't think he could be. Tyreek Hill's the fastest guy out there. He can do anything. When he gets the ball in his hands, I mean, anything's possible. The way he adjusts to catches, too, I don't think anyone in the NFL could do what he does when it comes to that. The ball will be like 5 yards behind him. He'll stop on a dime, accelerate, catch, and go for a touchdown. This guy's incredible. 4, Dahl, you brought him up too. My guy DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is that 4th guy. I think he's going to get healthy this year. I know he had a tough time staying healthy last year, but when this guy's healthy, he's a top 5 wide receiver. Cooper Kupp really ascended this year. I think Cooper Kupp was top 5, top 10 before the season. Now I think he's 1 or 2. But DeAndre Hopkins is a top 3 perennial wide receiver, in my opinion. And then 5, Dahl. Here's 5. And I'm not going with your guy, Jalen Reagor, just so you know. He's not going to be in my top 5 right now. And I'm not going with Keenan Allen, who is I think would maybe be 6 or 7 on my list. I'm actually going to go with a guy who's not up on here, who reminds me of DeAndre Hopkins a lot, Mike Williams out of LA. I think Mike Williams is going to emerge and be a top 5 wide receiver. I called it last year with Cooper Kupp. I know you were watching the streams with Tony Tucker when I said Cooper Kupp is a top 5 wide receiver. I was going off on Cooper Kupp. I think Mike Williams, Justin Herbert is evolving and taking his game to the next level. I think Mike Williams is the top 5 wide receiver. He might have a Cooper Kupp-like season next season for the Chargers. So that's my top 5 as of right now. Oh, and Dahl.
Yeah, I think that's a great top 5.
No, I appreciate that. I like that our top 5 was pretty different too. There was only really like Devontae and Cooper, the only similar guys on there. Which obviously everyone should have Devontae and Cooper 1 and 2. So anyway, my Raptors are destroyer 76ers in the first round. All in 5, he's saying. Felke's saying in 5. Felke, you are a Cowboys fan and now a Raptors fan. I don't know if any of your teams are going to do anything this season, but yeah, dog. I got Philly winning this series in 6. But okay, Raptors in 5, that's really bold. I think the Raptors in 7 would be about as bold as I'm going to go as the Raptors in this. I'm going.
I don't want to talk about it, Felke, because we're probably going to lose first round, and Glenn Rivers, he needs to leave. Let's talk about this, Felke. Let us know in the chat. This is our last question of the night. Jay, one's got to go. Wings, tacos, burger, or pizza. On the spot, Jay Fly, Death Beam, pointed at Earth, aliens have the question. What do you say?
I'm going Andre Iguodala. No, I'm just playing. But well, just off these pictures alone, I'm not eating any of these foods, dog. Just so you know, so they all could go.
Yeah, I do agree. The picks kind of don't do it justice.
No, but I'm just saying no, because the hot wings, I wouldn't get them that hot. They look extra spicy. The tacos, I wouldn't get cheese on it. I wouldn't get cheese on anything. So the pizza, I wouldn't have cheese on it. The burger, I wouldn't have cheese on it. So give me a cheeseless pizza. Cheeseless pizza is really good. Put some meat on there. Burgers with no cheese are really good. Tacos with no cheese are really good. And give me some wings that are like lemon pepper. And I would get rid of. Sorry, dog. I just ruined like maybe the fun of this game. But honestly, dang, that's actually tough, man. I'm not gonna take forever on this. So I'm just gonna give you an answer. In-N-Out's really good. Hey, man, I want to go with pizza or burger, though, off the top, or taco. I'm going to go with taco, dog. I'm going to go with taco. Pizza, I eat pizza with no cheese, dog. I eat pizza with 0 cheese on it and just meat, and it's still really, really good. So pizza, if you like cheese, I can imagine how good pizza is because it's probably better with cheese, honestly. I'm going to go with taco, dog, because what is a taco but meat wrapped inside of something? I can just eat the meat by itself with a fork like I do at Chipotle. They just give you the meat and they put some rice on there and boom, you're good. You know, white rice, black beans, and I'm good. So taco, you can go.
I gotta go. I gotta heavily disagree. I gotta say, man, for me,
Hey,
I gotta say goodbye to pizza. And I know that
okay.
it's crazy, but wings are always good. I love wings. I love a good cheeseburger. Pizza's amazing too, but tacos are number one for me. Tacos are unmatched. If I could never have a taco again, I would be a sad, sad man. And more importantly, my girlfriend would kill me if I could never have a taco again, because that would mean that we would not eat tacos. And Jay, when I tell you like 65%, 70% of times that we go out for food, it's Mexican and tacos, I shit you not. So I'm just going to go with pizza. I'm sad to see one go. I saw that one online and I was like, ooh, that's a really, really tough one. I mean, one of them had to go, but
They could all go, dog. We
jokes
gotta keep
aside,
lemon pepper.
yeah,
We gotta
lemon
keep
pepper
lemon pepper.
though. Oh, that's what I had for dinner from Wingstop. See?
Yeah, you on the right vibe. Hey, dog, when you come out to LA, man, you know LA, Southern California, they got the best taco spots, I believe, in the whole country. So we'll go out to San Diego. It's literally, I think, like, I have to actually look, but I think it's less than a mile from actual Mexico. So, you know, those tacos are fire. They're like, I think it's like San Isidro, the city's called, technically. It's this taco spot. Yeah, by far, everyone knows it out here as the best taco spot. You got to go, dog. That place is actually fire. Now, that place, I will take over any pizza. So,
Yeah,
without you.
I'll have to try it out. Yeah, I've been thinking about taking a trip out there. So when I come out to come see you, Jay, and crash at your place, I'll let you buy me a taco or two, or maybe 3 or 4 or 5.
I'll buy you multiple tacos, dog. Tacos on me the whole trip that you're out here, dog. You're my guy.
Hey, and then when you come out here, Jay, cheesesteaks on me the whole trip.
With no cheese. Cheesesteaks with no cheese.
Yeah, I forgot. I forgot that you don't like cheese. But anyway, on that note, without further ado, I want to thank everybody for coming through tonight to the Up for Debate podcast with me and Mr. J Fly. You can follow Jay on TikTok at JBolted. You can follow me on TikTok at 302birds. Did I get it right, Jay? At JBolted?
You did. Hey, you always get it right, dog. I never time you got it wrong.
Hey, well, I appreciate you. I appreciate that. And everybody, have a great week. We appreciate y'all. And without further ado, on 3J, 1, 2, 3, hit that outro, baby.